Okay, we got a brand new S9 furnace that we put in, and it is giving us trouble. It got extremely cold last night, so I'm not sure if drains or something maybe froze, but either way, we're going in here to find out. Pretty nice work area here. The heck, did I bring the wrong one? I sure did. What a big dummy. Look at that. Well, we just have to cheat. Everything looks normal here. So on right discharge, we do have issues with it building up water in the bottom of the heat exchanger. So we add that vent that's not supposed to be higher than this, and that's just according to the installation instructions. I'm not going to say it makes sense to me. Yep. And there it was. That top rollout was clicked. Jeez. Boy, I tell you. Really does not make sense. That's the wrong type of reducer. So a little bit of water will pool right there, but this thing will actually run on a whole bunch of 2-inch pipe, and it's 3-inch going from right here. So I just don't see what the problem could be. But it should fire up in just a minute. So let's double check our gas pressures while we're watching it. We're obviously gonna have to watch this thing for a little bit. Okay, it fired up and it's in low. In 10 minutes it'll go to high. I grabbed the right set this time to put the door back on with, and this is what's in my little case here for the Allens on the valves. That's one of them. Let's see where the other one is. We have to use these two little adapters. Yep. reach over there. All you gotta do is just open that thing just a little bit. Both of these on there. And then cut it back on. Too bad we don't have a light in this thing. But it should retry again now. Pull the call and reintroduce another cycle to get it to burn 10 minutes in low. So we can set that one. So we can check it, that is. It goes awful low on this one. Okay, so I pulled the jumper off of W2, got it in low, and the low pressure is just a hair too high as well. Let's see what our airflow goes down to. It hasn't dropped yet, it's still. So what we should have is 1.7 on low and 3.5 on high. So we'll drop this pressure down. Hard to get exact. There we go, 1.7. That's what we want on low. Enough. 1.689. I swear sometimes it seems like it changes when you put this cap back on. If we can get it to stay there. All right, I'm satisfied with that for low stage. Get it back in high. All right, we're gonna leave that right there. Now we got to try to test this rollout switch here. See what's going on with it. All right, let's get our manometer off. And if we do it relatively quick, we won't get any issue to have to reset over or nothing. Okay. Okay. I really like this Harbor Freight. There's not much you can buy there because it's all so cheap, but this little kit here with the little pull-outs, and you can adjust it and make the size holes you want. I really like this for my manometer. That is a really nice little setup for it right there. And I should be able to put the door on properly now. So, what we have here is, you know, that gas pressure on high was just a tiny bit. That wasn't enough to be setting this rollout switch off. So unless we're getting a water problem that's slowing down the exhaust flow, and I just don't see that here. And it's possible that this switch is actually bad or out of range, and I have seen that, but it is very rare that I've seen that. So I'm going to pull it out and look at what its temperature is. Probably 190 degree. So let's take a look at that. Boy, the stubby won't fit in this one. That one's only a little shorter. This one's going to be tough to get out. Like all I can do is take the bit out of it. Yep. Ain't got enough room for it up there. When I hate to scratch this thing, I need my little 1/4-inch wrench. That's what I need. A little boxed in wrench reach in there. It won't turn far. If I can get it with this. I did that one time with my 8-1. When I did this to my 8-1 one time, all it did was scratched up the shaft. It's not magnetic either. See, it scratched it up. It made it hard to go in and out of the tool, but back then when I did that, I grabbed these teeth here. So hopefully all I did was just roughed up that was a nice Klein little mini, ever how many in one it is. Get my hands on that screw somehow. Oh Lord, I let it short. So I'm gonna say I probably popped the fuse. Maybe not, it's trying to light again. I let that hit one of these edges here. See what this one is. Yeah, it's a 190. Probably nothing wrong with it. Got a couple new ones in my pocket. what I'll do, instead of pulling it in and out of there with the wires on, is I'll go ahead and mount this new one. Then I'll put the wires in it, but like I said, it is extremely rare if these rollouts are bad, or at least it's been rare for me. You gotta get it in there. It's got a little slot. There we go. Without that little short thing being magnetic is not going to be any fun. Alright, so I got tired of fighting with it, and I took a little small piece of tape, robbed off that corner right there, and stuck it over the head of that screw in there pretty good, so I can get it back in this rollout. And there we go. And no, that wasn't any fun, but I just thought, just in case, I'd go ahead and change that little rollout switch. A little stubby. So let's hope it didn't make it harder to get in and out. Nah, it doesn't appear to have bothered this one. I wonder if I can get that little piece of tape off. There we go. Okay. So now I won't short it out again. I'll just pull the wires off this one, stick them on that one. Alright, so the board thinks that it tripped and I reset it. I'll tell you the best way I've found to test one of these, and it takes a while. We need to get on out of here today, but I sure hope this is resolved. So the best way to test one of these, in my opinion, is to take your field piece meter and the wired thermocouple that comes in it, and loosen that screw right there, the one we just fought in and out of there. Loosen that screw that goes there and stick the end of your thermocouple wire right under there, and between that and the burner box, and tighten it back down, and then you'll have your you know, right about there where the tip of my finger is, the wire will be sticking under the rollout switch and the screw tightened back down completely. Then your thermocouple will be really close to that. All right, then put the door back on, ramp it up and get it in high if it's a 2-stage like this. Ramp it up, get it in high, and sit there and watch the temperature of your burner box right here. And if it trips that rollout switch without your meter going above 180, or well, these are 190s, without your meter going above 190, then you know your switch is out of range. And then if this actually reaches the value, in this case 190, then there's your problem. And I'm gonna put a little X on that right there. Now, if it was a more expensive part, I'd probably have put a question mark on it, but just got to remember when I dig that out of my pocket to throw it away. These things are cheap, and I keep a handful of them in the truck. I keep some 180s and 190s, and I've had 220s before. I think they went on package units or 80% burners. I'm not really sure, but these S9s, the smaller furnace will have a 180 there, and this one's got a 190. This is a 80,000, 4 burners. Not sure what the 100 and the 120 has on it, but very rare that we have one of these bad. They're usually accurate, and they usually signify that you got a problem, and I just can't find what the problem is. If I had any PVC with me or any extra parts, I've got the little eccentric reducer, but I don't have any couplings or anything else. I would change that while I'm here, just to get that little bit of water out of the bottom of that, which it's not really choking the flow, but I would change it if I could while I was here. So we went through the gas pressures, double checked all these hoses and everything, and just not sure why this thing kicked. I sure hope not to get that phone call again tomorrow morning. We'll find out. Let's get my Nebo out of here. That's a handy dandy little item right there. Nebo, get you one. Okay, so sometimes at night I eat breakfast. Eggs, bacon, fried eggs, bacon, little toast. And look how patiently the cat sits and waits just to get a little small giblet or two of bacon. She just sits there and waits patiently. How many cats do you know like that? Most animals would be jumping all up and down, freaking out. But no, she just waits.